Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I am joined today by founder and CEO of BB+T Consulting, Ron Bruno, and he's going to be joining us at the DFW Growth Summit on February 22nd. He'll be moderating one of our panels. Ron, you want to give us a quick introduction?
Yeah, sure, James. Appreciate the opportunity to be on here and appreciate the opportunity to be part of the Growth Summit. Really excited. Yeah, quick introduction. I have 25 years of sales, marketing, business development experience. Spent my first 10 years where I was in advertising, business development, marketing. Did a stint of personal finance for 18 years, starting in wealth management, and that led into residential lending before I came full circle and am now have my own fractional business development consultancy really helping small and medium-sized businesses on the technology side, as well as professional services, leveraging my two networks with sales, marketing, business development, and events.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. We're pretty similar in what we do, so this is really exciting for me. So,
Yeah,
if you're ready, we can jump right into it.
let's
So,
do it.
first question, in a world dominated by algorithms and data, how do businesses ensure they're connecting with the human behind the numbers?
Yeah, I like this question. So, when I was in mortgage lending, one of the things that I noticed, and this might have been in the different Facebook groups and different mortgage circles, but I saw that, businesses were lining up and they were promoting, you need to have a chat bot, you need to have CRMs, you have to have scripts, you have to have automated email campaigns, and I was thinking, oh, I need to have customers. Right? Like
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
to actually have business first
exactly.
before distancing myself between me and the client. For me, it's very personal, right? And a home mortgage is about as personal as you can get. So I wanted to make sure that I really adapted my communication style and really to the client. And so sometimes I would have clients where all we would do is communicate via text, and then I have others that wanted to hear the history of mortgages,
Yeah.
right? So I think businesses, they really need to make sure before you put all those productivity tools ahead of time, you need to really understand what the customer is asking for, and really set up those processes that are aligned with the customer's buying cycle. For example, I'm just now after a full year uh, with BB&T. I'm just now starting to put those productivity tools right in the first engagements with my clients. It was a lot of listening and understanding and asking questions. And then once I understood it, I could really be that advocate and get excited about promoting my clients to my network. And then once I'm talking to my network, I'm listening to them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just now putting those pieces in place where I'm setting up Calendly and I'm setting up Teams folders and hiring new people, all of those things. But that's come after a lot of just R&D and understanding my clients and understanding their clients as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally identify, and I'm about at that same point in time too. So,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's like I'm talking to myself here.
Yeah.
So, do customers trust businesses that use their data, or has the rise of data-driven marketing created a barrier to genuine relationships?
I gave up the whole Big Brother thing and understanding, with that whole thing
Yeah,
when it comes to technology. And oh my
yeah,
gosh, they have all our data and everyone's listening to us, and all the I gave that all up because I took a marketing class in college and undergrad, and our professor, he actually said, you do know how coupons work, right? And we're like, well, yeah, you just get them at the grocery store. He's like, that's based on your buying behavior. I'm like, what? He's
yeah.
like, and they've been doing that since the 70s,
Yep. Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so if you have that trust factor with the business and they're giving you something of value, then I'm fine if they're going to use that data to better my shopping experience and to better my life and to better the convenience. Now, where it goes awry is when you just start getting things out of the blue and you break that trust with the customer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree too. I think this day and age we're in, whoever's listening, they've been listening. They're going to continue. It's not going to be
Right.
based on whether or not they have access to certain things or your buying patterns. I honestly would really prefer that, that personalized experience. Like some organizations have adopted, I would say actually a lot of organizations have adopted that kind of procedure where they're tracking your buying patterns and trying to show you things that you want. Others
Mhm.
don't, and it's really annoying.
Right.
I go on the
Right.
website, I'm like, I don't want any of this. Why are you showing it to me at all?
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, no, I actually like the I like the personalization much more. I'm not worried about the privacy part.
Nope.
Um, okay, so how can businesses create memorable human experiences in an environment that increasingly values digital convenience?
Well, I think you need to define what human is, right? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's really key. So, there are different generations, right? So you have, baby boomers and Gen X and millennials and Gen Z, they've grown up with technology differently, right?
Yeah.
And you need to align that communication, service, the customer buying cycle with that customer base, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's just one step of it, right? So the other step is you have to really understand your customer. So for example, my wife Karen, she can be on the phone with customer service reps all day long as it helps her get to that end goal and check it off her list of whatever task she needs to complete. I I abhor customer
Yeah.
service.
So do I.
I do not. I dread getting on a 100 number line, and that's the
Yep.
whole reason why I don't like cold calling. So personally, I like having professional relationships with people where I can just text them, call them, see them out at an event, say, "Hey, can you take care of this?" And it's done,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that, but that's also how people have treated me over the years, right? They see me in that same light, and that's just preference, right? So I think when you're trying to uh, really create those memorable experiences, it's about really understanding your customer and how they like to do business, right?
Yeah.
So if the customer they prefer that you use text, right? You might not want to use that, but you're not the customer, right? The customer is the one that does that.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to hear about the history of finance or whatever, don't tell them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just let them work with you the way they want to work with you.
Yeah. I agree. I think in my mind, it's simple. When I need a person, be
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, we can keep it automated and digital. It's like, but when I hit like zero on the phone for the
Right.
for actual assistance, like just show up right there,
Yep.
or you opt
Exactly.
in, or like you opt in online for like a rep or something like that. It's like then just get right to it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise,
Well, see that. So that's something where when it comes to the technology, I go crazy when I I hit zero, and then they ask me a million questions and
yes,
say, are you looking for this? Are you looking for this?
yes,
Say what you need. Is that what you meant? I mean, that drives me
yep,
nuts.
yep,
Right.
same. It's like I already hit zero, guys. Come on, like
Right.
for
I want to
sure.
talk to a person. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right, is there such thing as too much automation in customer engagement, and where should businesses draw the line?
Again, it's going to depend on your end client, right? So, went back when I was a financial advisor, way back when, if I was talking to someone in their 80s and they were in, from the America's greatest generation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If I sent them, I mean, the technology didn't exist back then, but if I were to send them a text and say, "Hey, I need you to fill out and communicate with this chatbot," it would be over,
oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
There would be no communication beyond that because
Yeah,
what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to talk, right? They want to get to know you. They
yeah,
need to know, like, and trust you before moving forward.
yeah,
Versus if I were to, you know, ask someone who's Gen Z and someone who's really busy, who's technology savvy, and they're creating content and they just want something very convenient and they use technology all the time. If I told them, okay, you're going to come to my office and it's on the 38th floor downtown, and my secretary is going to help me with help set things up, and I want you to fill out this application in triplicate before we meet. They'd be like, what?
no, yeah. Just
Like,
as you're explaining, I'm like, no.
they would mistrust you
Yeah,
based on the fact that you're not technology savvy. So it really depends on your customer. And that's what you have to do. You have to make sure that whatever communication style, whatever tools you use from a technology standpoint, it's got to enhance the customer experience,
Yeah.
right? And it has to be aligned with whoever your end customer is.
I'm glad you stated it that way. That was a great answer, honestly. I think a lot of folks would just simply say like, it needs to be one side or the other, and I can appreciate that, but I think you're on the money. It's really entirely dependent on your customer, who you're serving, for sure. I mean, my dad's
Yep.
a boomer, and he
Same.
he calls everyone. Like if he's got a challenge, he's calling you for sure. Like
Right.
customer service, no matter what it is, he's gonna call you. I don't have time for that or
Mhm.
patience. So I'm like, how do I get this remedied quick? Like with a bot or something like that, for sure.
Mm.
Um, okay, last question. Maybe last
All
question.
right.
As technology continues to evolve, what's the one human element businesses must never compromise on in their customer relationships?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, there's a lot of them that are out there, but I would say the biggest one is trust,
Yeah.
right? So when you've established trust with someone, you must nurture that relationship. You must treat it as a long term, right? At least having that as the goal, right? You don't want to treat people as transactions. No
Yeah.
one likes to be sold; they like to buy, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
you must follow up and follow through, and whatever you say you're going to do, you must do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Throughout the customer journey, there are going to be bumps, right? But how you communicate and how you are transparent through your communication style and let people know here's what's happening, here's what to expect, all of those things. It really puts that customer at ease, and it really helps them. They feel like you care, right? And that's really that element that you have to have in business, regardless of however much technology you put in place. All of those things. As soon as
I,
you break the trust, it's over, right?
yep.
You lose referrals, you lose that customer, and really it's a black eye. Like it's not something that you want. So you want to
Yep.
make sure you maintain that trust throughout the relationship.
Yep. 1,000%. I agree as well. I agree as well, for sure. All right. That pretty much wraps it up. You know, I, I think honestly, actually, I'll keep it with you. What's something that you might want to leave us with? Any last final insights or anything you're maybe looking forward to at the summit? Anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say first of all, thank you for the opportunity. And also, these are very thoughtful questions. And,
Yeah.
I think customers, uh, businesses, they really need to think this way,
Yeah.
right? So I think understanding that it's not technology first and the customer second, right? It's customers first, right? I think a lot of people, when they, and it was really interesting because if you look at where the stocks performed the best in technology, they were AI driven, right? So it was all the companies that were focused on AI. That's why Nvidia shot up like crazy
Yep.
because the street felt, oh, okay, if I buy a company that's focused on AI, or if I just buy AI off the shelf, all of a sudden, we're going to have amazing customer service and we're going to have amazing productivity and all these things. No, you have to have a strategy, right? But you
Yeah.
have to align it with your business, right? AI doesn't replace your business. It doesn't replace your strategy. It enhances that, but you have to be able to understand how it works,
Yeah.
right? So I think the biggest takeaway is to be, so number one, what Google says is don't be evil, right? That's number one. And number two, I would say you really want to make sure that whatever technology that you're implementing, all these productivity tools, all of these things, it aligns with your business and ultimately your end customer.
Yeah. For sure. I love it. Love it. Well, we'll wrap it up there. If you guys enjoyed this, we're going to be unpacking all of these questions and a lot more during the summit. And like I mentioned, Ron will be moderating one of the panels. That panel will be building customer relationships in a data-driven world. So we'll get a lot more of this kind of stuff. Make sure to get your tickets. There's still early bird tickets on sale right now. You can go ahead and save a little bit of money. Go to my website, jamessackey.marketing/summit, and we will see you there.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.